And welcome to another edition of No Cap. This is Sol Abbas.
What's going on, bro?
What's happening? My left-hand man. My right. I don't know. Man, what's up with the Panthers? Why can't they just lose and just give some charity to the Brisbane, bro? What's going on, man?
I
thought it was gonna happen.
I wanted that last week. I was like, yeah, let's just get the loss out of the way so when we verse Para this week we can destroy them. But yeah, look, they're clinical.
Too good. They're too good. And even Brisbane, they put them under a bit of pressure, and they went through it.
Man, he's got to change teams right now.
Man,
he's too good to be playing at.
Mate, the Penrith Panthers, you said it, big game this week against Parramatta. I can't wait. I mean, this is it. This is a crossroads for Parramatta, man. If
we'll
they
get to that later.
If they don't put in a performance, stuff them. If they don't put in a performance, honestly, count them out. Big news this week again from the world of rugby league. Anthony Griffin got hired as the next St. George Illawarra Dragons coach. A weird hire, or is it a positive step for them?
Yeah, look, it's obviously. I mean, what would you have rather Dean Young there for next year?
He's a pretty old school coach, Griffin. You know, he likes to do everything by himself. Yeah, like, you know what I mean, like a Phil Good, like a Jack Gibson, like those kinds of coaches. He wants to take all the responsibility on. He doesn't really use his assistant coaches. He coaches a very old school mentality, defense oriented. Like he wants the defense set before he changes everything.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Dragons need to a certain extent. Maybe they need that old school mentality, but you know, somebody. Yeah, I guess that's where Griffin comes into play, where he's got to acknowledge that maybe his style isn't for the time in attack wise, and that's where he's got to seek help from his get a good assistant coach that kind of like what Cleary has done with Barrett. I guess how long hasn't he been coaching for now? What, 4 years?
No, it's only been 2 years since
he got sacked from Parents.
2 years, yeah. Seems like a long time.
Yeah.
He's funny because he talked about what they need, and he said the forward pack. He goes, There's some good young kids coming through, but their forward pack needs a bit of a change there. Obviously, Frizzell's going.
Where's Frizzell going?
He's going to Newcastle.
Oh wow!
So they're gonna get even better over there. But they talked about the spine and talked about Dufty, Corey Norman, Ben Hunt, and McInnes, and he said he's happy with that. He goes, that's better than a lot of spines, and on paper he's probably right.
Yeah.
But they haven't been performing at all. The only good thing for him, is he worked with Ben Hunt. He coached the first Broncos Toyota Cup team, where I think they won against Canberra. Ben Hunt was his halfback. He debuted Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt developed under him. So there's a working relationship, previous one there. You never know. He's got a point.
That could be a curse for the Dragons team too.
You reckon?
Well,
there's no one out there, but...
No, I know that, but what if Ben Hunt's not performing and he just keeps giving him the role just because he's got a soft spot for him, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen coaches do that in the past.
Yeah, but I think he's acknowledged that he's not at his best right now, and maybe he can get the best out of him. That's the thing. But yeah, look,
are his best days over, Ben Hunt?
I mean, this is it. Next year is going to tell a lot because I think this is his last year at the Dragons.
Look, I think next year he's got to start at least playing better footy. It doesn't have to be his best season, but he's got to start playing better footy to at least attract some sort of a good contract. Because playing the way he is, I wouldn't spend more than, what, 400 or 500K for him now?
No, of course not. But again, there's a lack of playmakers out there. A lot of playmakers are taken off.
And another thing that's hurt him is that he's been playing hooker for a lot of this year, or for a certain amount of games this year. So if do we think Griffin's going to put him back into half?
Well, the thing is, that's where he's played. That's where he's played under him before, and that's where he got the best out of him at halfback. And he did, technically, if you're going back, he did take he was Brisbane's halfback going to that GF,
Yeah, he was. I think halfback is probably his best position.
But
I don't know why. I guess the Phantom that hasn't returned, Tony, has said it that...
The Phantom.
That he doesn't have a bad game at hooker, but he's not as influential in the game as a hooker. He needs to be... For him to be back to where he was during that grand final time, he has to be a halfback. He
has to be.
Yeah, he can't be a hooker.
He's such a confidence player, you know what I mean?
Is he?
I think he's a confidence player because when he loses confidence, he starts maybe doing too much. He starts trying to take over the game too much. Whereas when he goes to hooker, he, like you said, never has a bad game there, but it's there to build his confidence. Not really there because he's a better 9. It just gets better confidence there, and then eventually they bring him back. He's got to get out of that slump somehow. But do you see Griffin taking him anywhere near a premiership in the next 2 years? Because I don't. I don't think 2 years is enough for the Dragons.
No, not 2 years. Might get him into the top 8, but not not top 4. I don't think in 2 years. Do you think Dufty is the answer? Or do you think they need to get a better? Because really, if you look at Dufty's game, he's just pace. Not much ball.
He's only good in attack. Yeah, his defense is horrendous. He's a bad defensive fullback.
Do you reckon Griffin is? He said that he's happy with him. Is that right?
I mean,
or did he just label the spine and he didn't want to single him out?
No. He talked about the spine and he's just said, yeah, like Dufty is a really good attacking fullback. Like, there you go, attacking fullback. He didn't really mention his defense. We know defensively he's got to get better.
But even then, like, he's not even. I wouldn't even consider him a ball playing fullback. Like, I'm sure he's got assists under his name, but I know it's going to sound weird, but Boyd, back in his prime at fullback, he could throw that cutout ball. Inglis could do it.
He had it
Ponga
in him,
can do it. Even Slater started adopting that towards the end of his career.
That's the modern fullback now.
Hayne, I don't see Dufty as that kind of player. I just see him using his speed to get around the players and, using his speed basically to create space for other players or maybe create space for himself. So what, is he only signed for 2 years?
Only 2 years, team option, the club gets the option third year. So if they're happy with him in 2 years.
So they're just going to see progress, I'm guessing. Cause it'd be so silly to put him on 2 years and expect something out of it.
The thing is, I don't think anyone is going to sign our coach for more than 2 years after what happened with Seabold. I think everyone's just scared to go down that route because if you get that wrong, you stuff your club up for a pretty long time. If you're not as strong as Brisbane, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure there. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. I mean, Jack DeBellin as well. That's $700K that hasn't been playing for the Dragons.
Surely the NRL's got to pay that wage though.
No, but they haven't.
Why do they?
Because they agreed to keep him on his books. Keep him on their books, sorry.
But it's the NRL's decision to not let him
They probably gave him relief, but I wouldn't have given him that much. It wouldn't have been that much relief.
That's a joke.
But, like, I mean if Dragons are willing to take that risk, isn't it on the Dragons?
But the thing is, they're just being decent at the end of the day. Like,
of course. They're looking after their player.
Well, he's not guilty yet. Or he might not be guilty.
He's innocent until proven guilty, obviously.
Innocent until proven guilty. And the only reason he's not playing is because the NRL have set rules in saying that he can't play under the
no-fault thing.
The no-fault rule, right? So in that case, Dragons have been like, okay, we're going to be decent and actually pay you because you're not guilty. But they're not allowed to receive the other end of it, which is his ability to play.
No.
So I think the NRL should be covering that.
But I mean, if you're looking at it like the Dragons,
but then again, what if he's guilty and then
that's the thing.
People say you've just paid this guy $700,000 a year while he was guilty.
They're pretty much feeding his. Like they're kind of helping him out with the legal costs and everything as well. The Dragons, they've taken upon themselves because they expect him to get off, but this has dragged on so long. I think that's been hanging over their heads for a while because he's been at training every single week. And they can't use him. It's pretty demoralising if he's probably one of your best forwards. Maybe if you're best forward, then he was an
State of Origin representative.
He was an Origin, wasn't he?
When he got stood down.
So, see what happens there. They're not going to get an answer till November. So.
I think it'll be longer than that.
No, November's it. That's it. November, that's the answer. Either guilty or not guilty. That's it.
Wow.
So that's the answer there. I'll talk about Kalyn Ponga and that hit that he copped on the weekend.
Great hit.
You're kidding.
Great.
You're honestly, are you taking the piss?
It's a penalty. It's a penalty.
Huh?
It's a penalty.
It's a send-off.
It's not a send-off.
It's a send-off.
It's not a send-off.
It is a send-off.
How? All right, so we're going to send off every person that shoulder charges.
Someone said that Ponga, Gallon. Oh, of course it's Gallon. Poor Gallon. Yeah, he's not a Sharks.
He's Australian great.
Yeah, he's not a Sharks biased commentator there.
What did he
say? He reckoned that Chad Townsend and Ponga were going at the same pace. Chad didn't hear the whistle and Ponga was going pretty quick. Ponga pulled up, bro. Ponga was pulling up.
So to correct that, play started with Ponga. The ref called time off, but without the whistle. He only put his hands up, which Ponga saw. But obviously Chad Townsend couldn't see because he was behind.
Because there's only one referee.
There's only one referee, right? So Ponga started off in full pace, but then slowed down when he saw the ref. Chad Townsend didn't see it, so he came at full speed.
But what's he coming in like that for?
Why not?
You can't shoulder charge.
I agree. It's a shoulder charge. It's a penalty. But it's not a send-off.
It's a send-off.
It's not. If Ponga was going at full speed, it wouldn't have looked that bad.
But you're telling me Chad Townsend...
And if that thing wasn't in his nose... You're telling
me Chad Townsend...
If that thing wasn't in his nose that flung up when he hit him, he would not have got sent off. That made it look even worse.
Come on, bro. You look at what's his name, Townsend. Why is he going in?
Like
Why is he going in like that? Since
Why
when?
not?
Since when is that how you tackle?
Why not?
He had no intention of tackling there. He just wanted to put a hit on him. You can't do that.
It's a penalty. Sometimes there's players that are like, I'm happy to give away a penalty
bro.
to send a message to their best player.
This is one of about a dozen examples of players targeting Ponga in his head. No, there has been. There has been times. It has happened often this season.
Ponga has been disappointing this year.
I get that.
Okay.
I'm not in no way. I am in no way saying that is the cause of his bad play because he still scores tries, still does his thing. But I'm talking about the player. He's a great player.
Pissed, right?
He's a great player.
I want to talk, right?
What are you pissed about?
I tipped Cronulla.
This guy is talking about his tip now.
Jared got ahead of me because of that, you know?
That's your fault. That's your fault. You know?
You're the one that told me to tip him.
Huh?
You're the one that told me to tip him.
I said they should win. But I didn't tip him. Hey, listen. Back to this topic at hand.
Look, at
Ponga
the end of the
gets
day,
targeted.
It's a penalty.
Ponga,
if you want to be critical there, you can say, it was a bit excessive. And go 10 minutes in the bin.
So he needs to take his head off for it to be a send-off, is it?
No, what do you mean take his... You're not taking anyone's head off for
No, but that's what constitutes a send-off for you if he takes his head off.
No, it's
like
a shoulder charge, no matter how excessive it is, 10 minutes in the bin is the max you get. What
but it's an illegal... It is an illegal act.
But what is the definition for what qualifies as a send-off? It's a punch. Nothing else really...
Yeah, but the shoulder charge is banned. Like a punch, it's banned.
But you see shoulder charges at least once every 2 weeks, and none of them get even 10 minutes in the bin.
Yeah, but there's a follow-through and there's a tackle and they bump him to the ground. This was just all shoulder charge. He went in like he thought he was Sonny Bill. He wanted to hurt his head.
That's fine.
Nah, mate, nah.
That is fine.
No, that's not fine. There is a line. There is a fine line. There's a fine line between a fair hit and an unfair hit.
Okay, so are you telling me that God bless Dean Young for getting slapped by Greg Inglis, 10 years ago? Before that, what would that have called been?
It wasn't illegal.
No, it would have been illegal because he got a head contact.
Yeah, but a shoulder charge wasn't illegal.
Yeah. So why is it such a big difference? Like, why is everyone...
Because what I'm saying
I understand that it's a penalty because it's against the rules. But you can't tell me that 10 years ago it was okay and now it's a send-off.
A shoulder charge is a penalty. Yeah,
it is.
Back then, it wasn't a penalty. A normal shoulder charge.
No,
a shoulder
was.
charge.
Even if you made head contact to a shoulder.
A shoulder charge to the head back then was a 10 minutes. It's a send off now.
No, it's not.
It's a send off.
How was it 10 minutes?
It's a send off. It is. It's a send off. It's
the only send off I've ever seen that came from a high tackle. Or maybe there's probably more, but the only one I can remember was when Sonny Bill slapped Andrew Johns right across the chin. Remember, and he knocked him out.
Bro, Andrew Johns slipped.
Okay, regardless, right?
No, but there was no intention from Townsend. He just wanted to put a hit on him, a big hit on him, and there was no. The intention wasn't to make a tackle. The intention was to hurt him. And that's fair enough.
The intention was to stop him because he was going for a quick tap 20 meter restart.
So flying in like John Hopewadi did on Kev Galloway back then.
It's not a structured line. How does he know if his teammates are with him? He's got to be like, maybe if I don't make the tackle right now, maybe Ponga gets through.
You're telling me he's the only one that didn't hear it, but the rest of the team heard it?
Who heard it? He was the only one that was up in the line.
Bro, it was a 20-meter tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And you're telling me he's the only one that didn't hear it?
I don't think there was a whistle. I looked back at the replay.
But no one else went.
The ref go.
Not one other Sharks player went off. No one took off.
Exactly, because 20-meter restart. Maybe they weren't in position to get ready.
Listen, it was illegal.
I don't like Chad Townsend. Not that I don't like him.
It deserved the send-off. It deserved the send-off.
It didn't deserve a send-off.
And Kalyn Ponga has now been arrested because there's fears for his safety.
He's a liar.
There's fears for his safety. All right.
He's a liar.
He has been attacked at the.
Aren't you the one that's most critical
been attacked in the head.
Injuries?
He's been attacked in the head on purpose multiple times, a ridiculous amount of times, and it's putting one of our stars of the league, face of the league, in danger.
Boo-hoo. I want to see where was this concern for Dylan Edwards when Leilua hit him across the head without even the ball? Where was that concern?
I condemned it.
Did he get sent off?
I condemned it.
He got sin-binned.
I condemned it.
But did
our Phantom? The Phantom said, it's great. It's great. What did he say?
Passion.
Passion, yeah.
They love the passion. But did Leilua get sin-binned or did he get sent off?
What did he? I don't know. He got sin bin.
He got sin bin. How is that not even on the ball? How is that still on the field and a shoulder charge with the guy that's got the ball is a send off?
Because it was for his brother.
Oh, get out! But it wasn't even him. It wasn't even Dylan Edwards that hit him.
You know
it was
what?
Uppy.
You know what?
He's lucky he didn't run at Uppy. I'm getting Uppy in trouble right now.
Why
Lucky they didn't. Lucky they versed Tigers for the last time this year.
Why would you say that? Moving on. All right. Keiran Foran.
Free Chad Townsend.
You don't even like him.
I stand up for justice when justice is needed, you know?
Yeah, anyway.
Kind of like Batman.
You stand up for Keiran Foran and get him a contract now?
Why not?
He's torn his pec again. He's gone for the season.
If Lachlan Lewis can get a contract, so could Keiran Foran.
Probably. But do you think he will get a contract now that he's injured? Because
there
were a few clubs, like obviously getting his services. He even talked about it today in an interview. I think it was the Tigers and Seagulls that were on the radar. But do you reckon this injury ruins the chances of him ever coming back?
Not really, because he's had many injuries in his career.
Yeah.
And he's always come back. I think the decision of whether his career's over or not will rely on him and whether he's up to
he has no
rehab.
intention. He has no intention of retiring. He wants to play on.
Then I think he'll play.
But what I'm saying is, do you think a club will take a punt on him?
Yeah. I don't think he'll be offered a lot of money. Maybe somewhere along the lines of 300 to 400,000.
Well, that's what the Bulldogs offered apparently, and he didn't accept that.
Yeah, but he didn't accept that because he probably thought there was other offers out there. Now,
They'll probably take any offer.
Now, it'll get to the point where, I mean, you either don't work or you get 300,000 a year or 400,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he's going to take what's there. So that it's not, I'm telling you that it's not like disrespect in the way that I'm saying 400,000. I think he should be offered. I think clubs should offer him a 1 year contract for like 300,000, 400,000. If he can stay fit in that 1 year and play good, then I'm happy for them to then up his contract up to like 500,000. You know what I mean? And just play for
incentives.
Yeah, because unfortunately for him, over his whole career, he's been injury prone, and that means that he's been receiving a lot of money from clubs that haven't really received the full extent. Maybe even what has Bulldogs received? Maybe 50% of his service.
Not even, probably.
Not even. So it's unfortunate that he's injury prone, but at some point you just got to look at it and just be like, look, I understand why clubs are offering me that certain amount because, my service is not guaranteed. If I could play a full year, show them that my service is, is getting better and I'm not getting as injured, then I can look for a, contract extension with a higher pay. And I hope that's what happens, but I doubt it. I think NRL teams are going to want to take advantage of him and just sign him for cheap for 2 to 3 years.
I think I think the lack of playmakers goes in his
what
favour.
I don't think there's enough talent out there.
But there are some young guys coming up. I mean, we saw Josh Schuster against Manly against Tigers. He played pretty well until he got injured. He was very influential. Even Benji Marshall said that was the best debut from a kid at half he'd seen in a long time.
Since Benji? Since himself?
Probably since himself. You never know, but he actually played really well. I just don't think you look at teams probably like a team like Tigers would benefit from him, but I can't see him going to Manly if they've got talent like that coming through the ranks.
I could because Hasler loves him. That's one.
It's a dumb thing to do.
Hasler loves him, and two, that he's a young kid. What's his name?
Josh Schuster. Schuster.
He sounds German.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna call him Josh.
Josh.
Okay. This Josh kid is very, very young, right? So maybe you don't want a young kid to be partnering with Daly Cherry Evans right now. Maybe you want him to come off the bench. Maybe you don't want him to start. Coming off the bench,
possibly.
Maybe playing that hooker role too.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe if and when Manasseh comes back to the full strength squad, we know Manasseh is a very very good impact player. Or he likes, as long as you give him some sort of a break, comes on with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to come on. He doesn't do stupid plays. He's very wary of when to put himself in the game and when to just
and that's what he's doing.
Cherry Evans, yeah.
That's what he's doing.
So maybe it's kind of that thing where Manasseh plays 30 minutes. This kid plays 15 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then Manasseh comes on for the last 20 minutes of the game when needed, And then you also got the fact that maybe if they get Keiran Foran, this kid's on the bench. either Foran or Cherry Evans get injured, they've got a replacement, you know. Somebody that's better than Cade Cusp and Croker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, 100%.
I hope Manly get him. It'll be good to see him go back to
That's the thing. I think he does want to go back there. Tigers could get him to replace Benji for a year. I don't know if he's going to help their cause at all.
What's the point of getting rid of Benji to put Keiran Foran? The only thing you're pretty much getting the same amount of years, but just Keiran Foran's more injury prone in the past.
Talking about quickly just before you go on to the games, Benji Marshall. Do you think he'll find a club?
I do.
He should play.
He's probably the same category as Foran. I don't think there's enough talent out there to say that players like this won't find the club.
You can't force them into retirement if they're willing to keep playing.
I'm sure, like, what about Jerry Marshall-King sitting at the Bulldogs? Well, as if he's not going to get his brother a contract. I'm sure Bulldogs will take him.
It wouldn't be for long. It'd be for a year.
Yeah,
it's a year by year contract. But that's the thing. These older guys that are still hanging around, even Maloney might come back. You never know with what's going on.
From Super League.
You never know. But it's just a lack of playmakers. There's an issue there, but that needs to be discussed in the near future. Like a lack of playmakers coming through. Like that kid, Josh, he's probably the first of... Like, I haven't seen a young playmaker like that in a long time come out of New South Wales. You know what I mean? Like Dylan Brown maybe is the only other one that I can think of. But that's it. Those two...
What about Cleary?
Oh, yeah, Cleary as well. But Cleary's been playing for 5 years already. But you know what I mean? They took a punt on Cleary, Penrith, and it's paid off.
Yeah.
They didn't like... They punted up with Soward, and that kind of didn't work. He's been around, man. Kiri's 8-year veteran.
But what are we? Do we want a bunch of young talent to come in?
I think
it's good that it's stretched out.
But I think those kinds of players like Cleary, they're becoming like vets soon. Like I know they're young still, but they're kind of slowly becoming vets.
No, Kiri's not that. Like he's young, but he's not that young.
He's played 8 years of footy.
Yeah, he's like 26, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying he's playing.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that young. He's getting there into his prime.
Yeah, I'm saying like he's getting into that. You know,
the scary thing is Cleary's only 22.
That's but he's played 5 years. It's 5 years already. You know, that's what I'm saying. Does young players that come through, like the rare ones, if you kind of stop their growth or you don't let them blossom, are you killing them? Are you killing their career off?
Well, no, I don't think that. But that's the thing, right? Players like Keiran Foran, players like Benji Marshall. They're not a solution for a club for the next 5 years, 4 years. They're a solution. Like they're a one, you know, maybe a bit of experience in the team and for maybe a year or two. And I think bleeding players is not the way to go. You see a lot of teams bleed a lot of players, especially when they're going terrible. When teams are going very bad in the year, they start to bleed out these players and just give them more debuts. And you know, starting off your career with a team that's not playing well, it's very hard to project it.
I mean, people would say Penrith, but the way they did it, Penrith blooding all that young talent when Cleary was coming through, all that young, you know, the kick out, all those young boys coming through, that kind of helped them to get to where they are today.
But they were good enough to be there.
Yeah, of course. But that's I'm saying they were still young. They were still young.
Yeah, I know. But like for me, it's not about whether you're young or you're old. It's about whether
you're good enough.
Yeah, I don't want you to bleed young talent who could be good enough in 2 years' time, but you're just gonna let's give them some experience right now and see how they go. Because that kind of hinders a player's career, right?
It can go either way. It's a discussion for a future time. Let's move on to the games. Look, I'm going to go through the games and we're going to discuss whether it's worth it talking about or not. All right?
We'll just skip Thursday night.
We'll give a tip, but Thursday night, Tigers, Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs played pretty good against Melbourne, actually.
Hey, they're proving their premiership credentials, man. They're a threat this year.
Who, Rabbitohs are a threat?
Yeah, they're a threat.
You think there's not 4 teams that can beat them?
Yeah, but I think they can beat them too. I think they're a chance of beating any of them.
They're not going to have Latrell for the rest of the year.
No, but without Latrell against Melbourne, a pretty full-strength Melbourne squad, they should have beaten them last week.
We could chalk that up as a bad day at the office for Melbourne, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Rabbitohs played pretty well. I think they did. I think they forced them to play a certain way.
I think they did, but it's kind of like that saying, right? When you see two, and I'm not saying that either of these teams are shit. I'm just giving you an analogy. 2 shit teams play, they look good. So if Melbourne weren't playing great and Rabbitohs were playing okay, it might have made Rabbitohs look good in that sense.
Maybe. But again, I saw enough last week to suggest they're not going to just leave. They're not going to go away without fighting.
It's another attitude thing, right? Like, can they do this every week? I don't
Well,
think
this
so.
is a big game for them. They need to prove that against a lucky Tigers team last week. They should have lost.
They should've
Three
lost.
tries in about 8 minutes, and they got away with it. They're hanging on by a thread, Tigers, but who do you think is going to win this?
I'll give it Rabbits.
Yeah, I'll go Rabbitohs. Yeah.
I'm not going to believe anything you say, so don't even...
I'll go Rabbitohs. I'm with you.
Yeah, all right.
I'm with you.
Okay, bro.
Friday, not much to talk about.
I'm gonna
Bulldogs,
tip Tigers.
Eagles. You took two?
I'm going to tip Tigers because you said Rabbitohs. You're such a liar.
You don't even know who you're tipping anymore. Friday, Bulldogs, Eagles. Not much to discuss there. Bulldogs or Eagles?
Manly.
I'm going to go Bulldogs. I like the look of the back line. You know why? Quickly?
Bro, can I just say
Can
something?
I just say something?
Go.
Montoya's out. Holland's out.
Oh,
Wait. Remus Smith's back and Ockenball's back. Listen.
Ockenball.
Yeah. Listen,
Jesus.
bro.
Oh, Avarilla's at 6.
They're going to win this.
See, I was actually...
Now it changes his mind.
No, you know why? Because I actually said that I will never tip Bulldogs again. I didn't look at the lineup. I'll never tip Bulldogs again when they've got Montoya and Holland playing.
And
at
he
all.
listened to you.
Napa's out too. What is wrong with this guy? I don't think Napa was playing that bad. Like, surely if Napa's getting sacked, Aiden Tolman's getting sacked.
No, he actually moves.
Bro, did you
he
see
moves
the
into
game?
the front row.
Did you see the game? The Bulldogs game?
Against...
Against, who did they play?
Oh, Titans. Yeah.
Titans. Did you see Keiran Foran made the break?
Yeah.
And then he got tackled on 4th tackle. Lachlan Lewis comes out of dummy half and gives it to Aiden Tolman
That's
while
the
the
play.
whole Titans team was scrambling.
That's the play.
Tolman hits up.
That's
Just a hit up.
That's the play.
I cannot believe that.
That's the play.
And you know what?
What are you shocked about? That's
Like,
the play.
I'm blaming Lachlan Lewis here to an extent, but I'm also going to blame Tolman because he should not be there.
No, but that's his duty to be there at 4th and take a hit up.
So who are you saying the coach is telling him to do that?
That's the play. That's the play. That's been the play for the last 5-6 years.
So you're
and
saying
it's got us nowhere.
He started from Desi.
It's got us nowhere. Dragons, Saturday afternoon against the Raiders at Wynn Stadium. It's a pretty interesting clash. I don't really want to talk about too much.
Canberra.
Oh, the battle of Queensland. I can't wait for this one. Titans, Broncos, 5:30 Saturday. So much to talk about.
Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to go Broncos too. I don't see them winning 3 in a row, the Titans. I'll get a bit of a fist bump there from our cameraman. He hasn't gone for Brisbane since 2015. Saturday night. This was going to be a big game Saturday night, 7:30. Roosters Knights at the SCG. But the Knights have decided to rest Kalyn Ponga, Mitch Barnett, and Haimu Hunt. Roosters.
The Phantoms number 1's back. Tex Hoy.
Oh, he's back. Is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I'm going to get Roosters.
Yeah, can't go past the Roosters in this one, I think.
Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Storm, Cowboys. Cowboys, what a comeback last week against the Dragons. Good on them for getting the win, but they're not getting the win this week.
Storms.
Sunday night, a big clash in regards to finals.
That's right.
Because
I was actually so upset for Warriors last week.
they should have won.
if
They
won
got
last
dudded.
If they won last week, this would have been the decider whether they made top 8.
What was that? Was that a sin bin? Come on,
Jazz
man.
Tafanga.
Yeah.
Nah. See, how does... But they labelled that as fighting, right? And that's why he got sin bin. But really, it was just a punch. If you're going to look at it in layman's terms, it's punch, right? So...
Come on, man.
How is a punch a sin bin, but a shoulder charge is a send-off?
Because he initiated that, apparently.
Who initiated it?
Jazz Tavanga.
But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying why
It
is
should
that
have been.
worse?
It should have been like a punch in. Like technically, a punch should be much worse than a shoulder charge. A
That's
shoulder charge
different.
can happen.
Chad Townsend had just eyes to hurt Kalyn Ponga
And what-
illegally.
And what is somebody's attention?
Illegally. That's why
But
he's not
what's
playing.
somebody's-
That's
what's-
why he's not playing.
But can I ask something? What's somebody's intention when they're throwing a punch? Which I don't think that it was a punch because it's just grabbing in a shirt. And, like, come on, man.
That was
like,
nothing.
It was
That was nothing.
But if they labeled that as a punch, what could you think somebody's intention would be if they're throwing a punch to hurt somebody? that
or
is
to get him back
clear
to get him back for
indication.
something.
But that is clear indication that was an intention to hurt.
But you don't
Regardless.
think it's a sin bin anyway.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's a sim. Yeah, but that's different because I don't think it's a punch.
I don't think it was a punch.
Yeah, but the referee did. That's why he sent them off, right?
You know what, bro? Sack the ref. All right, sack Para. All right. because that was rubbish. They should have lost. They should have lost, Para.
I'm going for the Warriors.
I'm going for the Warriors as
I
well.
want them to do it for the boys.
I'm going for the Warriors, but Sean Johnson's back, and he might want to prove something against his old
Sean
squad.
Johnson is chat. What are they on?
You know what?
4 points behind. What's the points difference?
Hey, if they win, they're 2 points
18.
behind. Then it's a tough
They're
run.
minus 107.
Doesn't matter.
And
Doesn't matter.
Cronulla's on 18.
Cronulla don't have Townsend for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, but they've got to win every single one, and Cronulla's got to lose every single one.
Could happen.
Cronulla's got Roosters the week after.
They're losing that.
And they got Raiders the week after that.
Yes.
Ooh, so this is a big game for Warriors.
Come on, Warriors. Make
Come
the 8,
on.
boys. Make the 8. You turned it off, didn't you? I pointed out nothing. Match of the round. Panthers, Eels. Friday night, 7:55 p.m. Live on 9 and Fox. Shout out to Fox and 9.
Shout out to the real Fox, Josh Adokar.
I hope Michael Ennis is commentating this game.
Oh, if Braithen Asta is commentating again,
He was the lone commentator last week for that Panthers game.
Bro,
He requests the Panthers games.
By the way, off topic, how bad are some of these commentating combos?
Yeah, no.
I saw who was I think it was the Cowboys game. Brenton Speed and Blocker Roach.
Blocker Roach.
What the hell is that? He's like, you can't give us two terrible commentators. You have to give us
I like Brendan
one.
Speed. He's all right, but Blocker, mate. Blocker, go back to the sideline, man. Go back to the sideline, brother.
Eat your meat pies down there.
Mate, that's
Enjoy
what
the
you were
game.
good at back in the day. But this is a big game. Panthers, Eels.
I love Blocker Roach, just to put a disclaimer. I love him. He just shouldn't be commentating.
No, you don't. Isaiah Yo's back. Reed Marnie's in doubt. Who wins this one?
Is that a silly question?
I don't know. Maybe you thought that this is a tough opponent.
Look, I mean, everyone's got a chance. There's always a chance of somebody losing and somebody winning.
But in the end,
But in the end, if you go by the season, then it's Penrith winning, and I think winning by 13 plus.
I hope so.
I actually do. Unless Parramatta somehow get up for this game.
They will.
I think they will, but in the sense that I think Penrith are going to come out strong. I think even though they haven't come out strong in the last 2 weeks, I think they're going to be switched on this week. They're going to come out strong. If Parramatta don't react to that properly, Penrith are just going to run away with it. They're going to go 20 points ahead, and then Parramatta's going to start clawing their way back into the game. But Penrith is just going to keep scoring, and I don't think Parramatta's going to be able to stop them.
I think from last week, I think if when they went up 16-0, I thought Parramatta, because I said Parramatta needs to dominate the bad teams because they've been struggling. When they were up 16, I'm like, okay, Parra's back. Like they're back to their old self, kind of. But at least
it was a sim bin, but yeah.
But they're back a bit. But then the Warriors fall back, and I'm like, man, if the Warriors can fight back against this squad, if they struggle against the Warriors, how the hell are they going to compete against the likes of Penrith, Roosters, Storm? This is the big test for them, because if they don't perform here, write them off. I'm telling you, right, write them off officially.
I'll give them one thing, Parramatta. They've got a B+ to A- defense. So
they scramble well. They
do, right? So I think maybe me saying 13 plus might be a bit premature, but I think that it could end up like that, right? I think if Penrith are playing a great play, the way that they've been playing for the last couple of weeks, I think that it could be at least 2 tries ahead, at least. And hold up, just to put back, for every Para supporter that I've ever spoken to that tells me that they're the only team that have been in Penrith this year, that was when we had Caleb Aikens. So shut up and watch what Dylan Edwards is going to do to you this week.
You better hope. I hope for your sake, yeah? I hope for your sake they win. Because if they lose...
It's fine. We're still my
It's fine, but for you, it's not fine. I know it's not fine for you, bro.
Nah, it's all right. Well, I got a few...
You got a few enemies, bro.
I got sisters and all of that are Parramatta
few Para fans.
That's all right. They hibernate when they don't play well, Parramatta supporters, you know? And then they reappear. Like they don't even know who the halfback is at the start of the season. You know that? He's like, who's Mitchell Musa? So I don't know.
Yeah, look, I hope for your sake, Penrith win. I'm gonna go Penrith. That's about it. Any bold predictions for this week?
I think 13 plus Penrith.
I think I said Sonny Bill last week that I was gonna assist, and he did.
Did he?
He didn't, but he did. He
Oh,
did, bro. He
dummy
did.
half
From dummy
pass.
half, bro. That pass, wow, what a
He's been
pass.
talking to Uppy, eh?
How good was that pass from dummy half? Yeah, so 13 plus Penrith.
I think that'll be a good enough bold prediction for this week.
I think Bulldogs 13 plus.
Against?
Manly.
We don't have a Cherry Evans.
We've got a Jake Averillo. I don't know. I sense the Dogs are going to be up for this one. They got a better back line. The forwards are going to get compensated finally.
Do Manly score?
Yeah.
How many points?
But it'll be like, I reckon it'll be 26-6 or something.
You think they'll score one try only?
On the Dogs? Yeah. I'm probably going to be wrong, but it's a bold prediction. I got to give it a
Titans scored plus 20 on us.
Yeah, but look who they had, man. They had Holland and they had friggin' Montoya.
What a try from Holland the other week, huh?
I don't want to talk about him. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Abbas.
Thanks, Al.
See you next week.
See you, boys.